go. Much better, and that's what I like to hear. Well, my name's Nina, and along with Valerie and Michelle, we'd like to welcome you to Theater of the Sea and to our Dolphin Stadium. The real stars of the show, though, are, of course, the two fabulous dolphins you see before you, which happen to be brothers, and were both born right here at Theater of the Sea. Closest to you, we have 15-year-old Twister, and then on the other side is 13-year-old Sherman. They are some of the silliest dolphins we know. Why don't you guys put your hands together and let's give them a nice warm welcome. As they show off with their dolphin strut. You boys are good looking. Now to start off today's show, we're going to share with you a song that Twister and Sherman have been practicing on all week long. You see, they're huge fans of American Idol, and we're thinking that they should even audition for one of the upcoming seasons. But they need a little bit more work. In any case, we're going to share with you their audition piece, and if you recognize it, feel free to sing along with them. All right, boys, let's hit it. That was a beautiful song. Good job. I thought they sounded really great. But you know, guys, I didn't hear anybody in the audience singing along. Oh, they didn't either. What's the matter? Did you not recognize the words? All right, well, I'll admit sometimes they might sing a little bit off key, but that's not really their fault. It's actually all Valerie's. You got to give her some credit, though. After all, it's pretty hard to tune a fish around here. Oh, thanks for the courtesy laugh, Sherman. Well, he could have actually taken offense to that joke. I did call them fish. And are dolphins fish? No way. What are they? Mammals. So just like you and I, they're warm-blooded. They breathe air. They give birth to live young. They nurse and care for their young. And this is going to sound silly, but dolphins even have hair. They're born with a little mustache that grows right along their bottlenose. It consists of only a few individual hairs on each side, and they do fall out very shortly after birth. Now, when they were singing, you may have noticed that they were holding their mouths wide open. And it does kind of appear as if that's where the sounds are coming from, but dolphins don't have any vocal cords. Their mouth leads straight to their stomach. All of the sounds are actually produced from the blowhole, right on top of their heads. That is, of course, where they breathe from, but by manipulating air sacs right below the surface, they can produce a wide variety of sounds. And living here throughout the years, Twister and Sherman have learned to imitate sounds they often hear from around the park, right? We're going to share with you a few of our favorites. We like to hear a lot of those excited, screaming kids. Although we aren't too fond of the crying ones. And I have to say, occasionally they'll pick up a less polite sound. You can use your imagination. Oh dear, Twister. Here's one that comes from below the surface of the water. We call it their scuba diver impression. And speaking of diving, the deepest recorded dive for a trained dolphin was 1,280 feet. So these guys can dive pretty far. There are also sounds from up in the sky, like the noisy birds always trying to steal their fish. Even the ultralight airplanes that fly over the park from time to time. They're so fascinated by them. A few years ago, we decided to buy them some airplanes of their very own. We put together a few paychecks, but folks on a dolphin trainer salary, this was all we could afford. 2 wooden propellers. I know, it doesn't look like much, but it has not stopped them from flying. Watch and listen as our 2 young pilots take flight at a pretty dangerously low altitude, just below sea level. All right, there's a safe landing for Sherman. And then here comes our senior pilot, Twister. Nice job, boys. Now, besides being pretty great vocalists, Twister and Sherman are also pretty graceful dancers. For the next part of our show, we're going to put some music on and have Miss Michelle join Twister and Sherman in the water. We certainly hope that you enjoy it.